Purchase your tracks today.
Welcome, everybody, to the competitive gambling show, Call Your Shot. This is episode 11. This is how it's going to work. Round robin tournament style, 8 guys total. 4 guys are going to be on each week competing against each other. 5 picks each. Whoever has the better record obviously gets the win. Everybody plays everybody. Top 4 make playoffs. They can make a pick for any sports, any pick, any money line, any spread, any prop, anything that they think is going to make you money. There are no rules except for one. The value of the pick must be greater than minus 145 in American odds, 1.69 in decimal, and 20 out of 29 in fractional for all our UK viewers out there. So let's introduce the players now. In the red corner, coming in first place, he's the host of the Shooter Shoot podcast, Everything NBA. He's my new producer. Follow him at Shooters _pod. Kenny Cotterill. How's it going, Kenny?
Just feeling real good. It's been a couple weeks since Man United shocked the world, but not this guy, when they beat Manchester City plus 604. Best week in Call Your Shot history, just saying. That's why I'm in first place and looking to extend that, so thanks for having me.
Yeah, put it in the record books for Call Your Shot. Guy actually tweeted at you after he made the pick, and he's like, I don't know about this one. And then after they won, he tweeted, he said, I got to give respect where respect is due. So, I mean, everybody's following it. Everybody else has to jump on. So in the blue corner, you're going up against, he's coming in second place, a degenerate like myself. Make sure to follow him at Dylan Smith 101. Dylan Smith, how's it going, Smith?
Not doing too bad, Josh. Sorry, Kenny. Going back down to second place, most likely. I'm ice cold right now, personally, but all it takes is one little week to turn back.
It does. Don't ask Dylan about the pick he just made for our group parlay, but that's okay. Over to our next matchup in the blue corner, coming all the way back from last place. Hottest gambler in the world right now. 11-4 since week 1. Follow him at Steel Curtain PEH. Paul Hartle. How's it going, Paul?
Oh, just trying to pick out some more winners this week after that little 5-0 last time I was on. So we'll see if we can't just keep it rolling.
Yeah, the only person in Call Your Shot history to go 0-5 as well as 5-0.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. It's the little things. You're going up against in the red corner, coming in 6th place, just a bit outside of a playoff spot. He's the host of the Frostbite podcast. Make sure to follow him at Frostbite Pod. Jet Folk. How's it going, Jet?
I'm doing good. Feel like I haven't seen Paul and Kenny in at least hours. It's exciting to be on, and hoping that I can maybe sneak into a little playoff spot here.
Yeah. Hey, you're not far out of it. You're not far out of it. Shout out from Brett Mason. Imagine taking Utah Jazz money line tonight. Yeah, not a great pick. Not a great pick.
Couldn't be me. It couldn't be me.
Who's thinking Jazz money line? I don't know.
minus 600 favorites, and they end up losing. Not a very good pick. Anyway, let's get to it. Quick disclaimer before we get going. These picks are made for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. These picks that could potentially have a line change or a value change by tomorrow or the next day. For example, Miami Heat are favored 4.5 tonight. Tomorrow they might be 5.5, 6.5. Or even the other way around. So bet with us now. Let's make some money. Grab a beer, grab a drink, grab your fan. I don't care. Let's make some money and have some fun. It's March Madness, baby. A lot of basketball picks coming your way. So let's get right into it. Kenny, start us off with your first pick.
I'm going to head over to the hardwood. I know I've been doing so well on the pitch, but I figured I got to throw a bone to somebody this week. So I'm going to head back to the hardwood. We've got Illinois minus 22.5 taking on Drexel. The way that I look at March Madness is there's 3 1 seeds every year that beat the living shit out of the 16 seeds. When I'm looking at these teams, I think Illinois is going to be one of them. I think Drexel's a very lucky basketball team to be here. I think it's going to be short-lived. Illinois just won the Big Ten tournament. I think they're going to win by 40. So when I saw minus 22.5, I figured I had to jump on it. So that's why I'm rolling with the Fighting Illini to win.
The Illini. You don't think you don't think that they're overrated like a lot of the people are coming out saying that they think Illinois is overrated and don't know if they're going to go far in the tournament?
I don't buy that after the way that they played in the Big Ten tournament. I mean, they made Luka Garza look small when they played Iowa, and then they went and beat Ohio State, which if we're going to talk about a team that was lucky to go as far as they did in the Big Ten tournament, let's talk about Ohio State, who needed 2 overtime games in a 3-day stretch. So I think Illinois is very good. Ayo Dosunmu, phenomenal talent. And when you've got Kofi down low, I mean, they also out-rebound Drexel by a significant margin. They have no one that they can throw at this guy. And if he made Luka Garza look small, I think he's going to have like 15, 20 rebounds in this game. I think he's going to dominate.
Yeah, you could be right there. Illinois, very good offensively and defensively. Drexel will not match up anywhere close to what Illinois is.
Shout out to the Dragons for making the tournament, though.
Yeah,
I mean, this is something that you can build your program off of. At least you have an NCAA appearance when you're going to pick up probably the 3-star recruits if you're a program like Drexel.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good to see those types of teams in the tournament. It's just unfortunate that you're going up against a 1 seed, Illinois, who is one of the best teams in the country. So let's go to Dylan. Dylan, what are you running with for your first pick?
My first pick, I got Colorado in regulation. Not tonight, on Saturday. They're playing tonight right now. Minnesota's had a pretty good run this year. I think they're kind of overrated for what they've done this season. Colorado, if anything's underrated on the year. They're finally getting back healthy. McCarr's back tonight. Byron's back tonight. That gives them 4 of their best D now. They've been winning without a roster, basically. Tonight they're playing Minnesota. They outshot them 25-4 in the first period. 25 shots, most teams don't get that in a game. They got 25 shots on goal first period. They struggle with a backup goalie situation, but this is nice. They get a full day off, go again. So they'll have Grubauer in net. I don't see any way they lose this game. I think Colorado's going to start going on an absolute roll, especially when they got a day off between games.
Yeah, especially now that they have Bo and Byron back as well as McCarr. Who is their backup goalie right now? Because I know Francouz is out, is he not?
Hunter Miska or Adam Werner. I think they both had a few shots. They're both AHL goalies. They both suck. Miska got lit up for 4 in the first 5 minutes, or first period for sure, last game, and he got yanked, and then they came back and won the game 8-4 with Grubauer in net.
Yeah.
I assume there's not much of an update on Francouz. No one really knows why he's out or what his situation is. So I would be surprised to see them pick up a goalie here at the deadline.
Yeah, because, I mean, we've talked about it on the show before, getting late into playoffs here, getting into playoffs, those two goalie tandems are kind of what you need to go far. And, yeah, right now, I mean, Colorado does have it, but they just don't have Francouz, who is injured, or I don't know what his deal is. Is a very good backup goaltender when need be. I mean, he did very, very, very well for him last year when Grubauer was out. So, I mean, yeah, it's tough. You're going to have to wonder what they're going to do here. And maybe Francouz just has to get his shit together. I don't know. Yeah,
that's the big thing with them is Francouz last year was really good. He was arguably could have been their starter. He had the better numbers. And Grubauer, the big concern with him is his injuries always. So you don't want him playing a ton down the stretch here. If you could have someone to spell them going into playoffs, it'd be handy. But I mean, there is quite a few guys out there on the trade market, probably Dubnyk and guys like that. So I'm not too concerned. But yeah, hopefully
exactly. Yeah, it's nice to have Grubauer there there as well as Byram and McCarr back. So against Minnesota, I like that line in regulation. Let's go to our next matchup. Paul, what are you running with for your first pick?
First pick, I'm going to go with St. Louis in regulation tomorrow against San Jose. I really like the Blues in this one. Bennington's been playing pretty well. They actually lost their last 3 on the road, which means that they're due to take this win for San Jose. Plus, I'm getting the plus money here with a better team. St. Louis needs to start stacking wins together, or they're going to be on the outside looking in come playoff time. So this is almost like a must-win situation for them. They got to get this one here.
Yeah, kind of an unsurprising start to the season for St. Louis. In my mind, I thought they were going to be a lot better than they are. They've been dealing with a lot of injuries, though. Sanko out. I think Schwartz was out. Shen was out as well. Yep. So, everybody's dealing with the same shit. But that being said, still a very good team. Last time, I might be wrong, but last time St. Louis was in San Jose, I think the score was 9-6, 9-7. So look at the over possibly here in this game. You could definitely see a ton of goals. That was a game where Bennington got pulled, and then he tried to fight 3 different guys off the ice as he was going off. So pretty fun. Yeah. So, look at the over as well. Let's go over to Jet. Jet, what are you running with for your first pick?
My first pick from March Madness is going to be Winthrop plus 6.5 versus Villanova. I'm going to be very cautious when I'm picking straight up upsets throughout the tournament. I actually haven't picked my bracket yet. I'm going to pretty well spend all night doing that. But I do think that 6.5 points is a very nice spread for Winthrop, given the fact that Villanova's got some significant injury problems. Not going to guarantee the upset, but I do like the points. So that's why I'm going there.
So would you say if people are feeling a little spicy, maybe we splash a little cash on the money line, maybe?
There's only a handful of upsets that I'd potentially pick, but this is definitely one of them that I'm keeping my eye on. I won't be shocked if by the time I'm done my bracket, I do see that pick happening, but I got a lot of statistics to go.
A lot of stats coming our way. I like it. All right, let's go to our second round now. Kenny, what are you running with for your second pick?
All right, now, guys, I don't know if you know this, but I've got a source inside the Clemson basketball locker room, and it's not the Source podcast. Let me clarify. Shout out to Connor Pedersen. I've been doing a little DMing back and forth just to see what he's thinking about this matchup, and he's feeling pretty confident about his boys. He's been doing the film. He's been watching the film on this Rutgers team. I'm a big fan of Amir Sims on Clemson. Personally, I think Rutgers only got in because they were pretty average in the Big Ten, and the committee is a real hard-on for the Big Ten. So I don't think Rutgers is actually that good. I know they have a couple big wins on the year, but they also have a ton of bad losses. So that's why I'm rolling with Clemson money line here. I was pretty shocked that Rutgers was favored to begin with. I thought that if anything, it should have just been a straight across the board. But I'll take that at plus 110.
Yeah, for some plus money too. Clemson, very good basketball team. I'm kind of unsure why they're underdogs in this one. Personally, I think they should be favored, but
they laid a couple really bad eggs in the regular season.
Right, I guess.
They lost to Duke by double digits, and they lost to Virginia by 35. So, they have the ability to just be flat.
Right.
But,
okay, yeah.
But I think that's also when you're within the same conference, that'll happen a couple times a year. You're just going to be flat against teams that you play every year. The same coaches go up against each other every single year. And so that's why I think when you get the crossover here, I just like Clemson overall, and I want Connor to be my friend still. So I'm going to roll with Clemson in this one.
It's always nice having a source on the inside.
Oh, shoot, I just gave away my source. Damn it.
I texted Connor one time to see what the team had for a pregame meal. I was like, what did they have? Pizza? Did they have some spaghetti?
If it's chicken parm and spaghetti, too many carbs. The guys are just going to be a little slow on their feet. So exactly. I get what you're saying.
All right, let's go over to Dylan. What are you going with for your second pick?
My second pick, I got Tennessee minus 5.5 versus Oregon State. Oregon State won the Pac-12. I don't think they're in the tournament if they don't win the Pac-12. Tennessee, massive hot and cold team all year. When they're hot, they can beat anybody. When they're cold, they can lose to anybody. But the big thing about their losses this year, they've been beat by teams that rebound. If that's the only time they're getting beat is when they're getting out-rebounded and teams that are dominating them on the boards, that's not Oregon State. Oregon State can't rebound with anybody. I see Tennessee. I assume you're in the tournament. You're going to bring your best stuff, and when they bring their best stuff, they can beat anybody. I think they handle Oregon State pretty easily, and I think the rebounding is the key factor.
I do agree with you. Oregon State, if they didn't win that tournament, they definitely wouldn't be in there. But they were very hot to finish off that tournament. Very, very hot. That being said, Pac-12 not as it's not as big of a competition compared to all the other major conferences. So, but I mean, when you got the hot hand, you got the hot hand. That being said, Tennessee still a pretty good team. The line
is the best in the SEC too, and Oregon hasn't faced a D like them all year, and I think they're just going to struggle to score, and they're not going to get any offensive rebounds.
No, I do agree with you. 5.5, I think it is a low spread there at the -130. Not a bad one to take, especially if you want to lay a little parlay on it. Take that one as well as another pick. But let's go to our next matchup. Paul, what are you running with for your second pick?
We've been saying it all year, every time we talk about it, and I think Virginia Tech is a fraud. So give me the Gators and Trey Mann to pour it in. I say he scores at least 25, and they take the win. Just give me straight up money line. I've seen it bounce back and forth between Virginia Tech -1, Florida -1, but I don't think it should be this close, honestly. I every time we think Virginia Tech something, they just cough it up. So give me the Gators money line here.
Yeah, last time I did check, it was a pick 'em. Either way, I don't think it's going to stray too far from that. It's not going to go any much further than -110 in favor of Florida, or the other way for Virginia Tech. So you're going to get value there if you take if you take Florida. I like Florida here as well. Virginia Tech, I mean, I also think they're frauds, and I thought they were frauds. What? No, let me speak to it.
Hold up. Are you too concerned Virginia Tech's going to win and you'll be in their next Twitter video? Have you guys seen what they put out on Twitter?
I did see that. Yeah.
I do not like the exposed here.
Right, exactly.
I do think they are frauds, just like I think their fucking football program was frauds this last year. I can't bet on them. Personally, I won't.
All publicity is good publicity, guys.
Right,
if we
exactly.
end up in that video, then I don't care.
Exactly.
More clicks next week.
That's a very good point. Yeah, no, I do like Florida here. I like the Gators. I think they actually roll them over. Let's go to Jet. Jet, what are you running with for your second pick?
So I'm kind of tipping my hand at another potential upset I'm looking at here, but I like Georgetown +5.5 points against Colorado. They just feel like they're coming in real hot. They got a fire under their ass right now. I think Coach Ewing is a really good coach, and they're great on the boards. And I think that's a way to really be successful in the tournament. So yeah, give me some points, and another game I'm going to take a look at, and maybe just take the underdog. I don't know. We'll see.
I do like Georgetown here. I rolled them in their conference tournament. Do you think Patrick Ewing is still upset about not getting into the MSG Center? Oh, did I lag?
No, I think he lagged.
I'm catching a little bit of lag. Sorry, buddy, but I'm assuming you're asking me if Patrick Ewing's still pissed off. He better be.
Yeah.
Keep the fire going.
And his team just rallied around him there, and I loved it. Loved every second of it.
Yeah,
got on him a couple times. 5.5. I'm not a huge fan of Colorado. I think they're a little fraudulent, and I think this is going to be a very close game as well. I think I could definitely see Georgetown winning this, but definitely for sure keeping it within 5 points. I do like it for sure. That brings us to the third round. Kenny, what are you running with for your third pick?
Before I get into that, I will say if I'm Patrick Ewing, I'd be pretending that they don't let me into this stadium. Like the whole, hold me back, guys, hold me back. Like whatever you got to do to manufacture it, man. Go on a run. Go on an absolute run in March Madness.
Why not? Every day.
For my pick, I'm rolling Syracuse money line versus San Diego State. San Diego State did win their conference tournament. They did beat Utah State in the final, who's a scary 11 seed. For Texas Tech this year. But Syracuse, I liked what I saw from them in the ACC tournament. I mean, the Boeheim boys. You got Jim Boeheim and Buddy Boeheim. And, we were just talking about Trey Mann. Buddy Boeheim could be one of those guys. I mean, he had a really good game against Virginia. They lost at the buzzer. but I also think Virginia is better than San Diego State. So if they play like they did against Virginia, I see no reason why this couldn't be an 11 over a 6. I typically like to take 2 11s in a bracket anyways. And so this was one that I really liked. And so when I saw the money line value of plus 140, and this is a Syracuse team that knows how to go on a run as a 10 seed, 11 seed. All they need is a ticket to the dance, and Boeheim's got the experience to take them on a run. So give me Syracuse.
San Diego State, very good offense. Do you think they've seen a defense like Syracuse has?
I mean, I also think the whole 2-3 zone is a little bit overrated. Like everyone always talks about, like, oh, that dreaded 2-3 zone, and then like they really haven't had a 2-3 zone that you would fear for probably 5 years, honestly. I used to think that a lot of teams struggled against it, but the more game film you get on it, I think the more you can expose it. I just also don't think San Diego State has the offense to shoot the 3 ball well enough to do it personally. So that's why I would go with Syracuse. I think in order to beat them, you got to be hitting at least 8 threes, and I don't know if they'll hit that number on the night.
Yeah, not a great. I mean, I shouldn't say not a great shooting team from the 3. Fuck, I can't speak. But still a pretty good offense. I still like their offense. But against Syracuse, I think they're kind of going to get into a little shock, like a culture shock when they get into that stadium with them. So I do like that pick there at money line for some plus money for sure. Let's go over to Dylan for your third pick. What are you running with, Dylan?
I got Arkansas against Colgate. That line may be wrong at -3.5, but I'd be willing to take Arkansas up to like -15. This game ain't gonna be close. Colgate, they went 14-1 this year. You want to know who they played? They played Army 4 times. They played Boston University 5 times, and they played Holy Cross 4 times. Like, this is a joke of a team that's coming up playing against a very good Arkansas team. Their last game wasn't their best, but before that, they're 9-1 in their last 10. They got one of the best defenses in the entire country. And once again, Colgate played Boston University 5 times, barely won some of those games. They haven't played a single decent team. I think this will be a rude awakening for Colgate. I think this will be one of the biggest blowouts of the first round.
So actually, Kenny, just quickly, the line is -8.5. I'm pretty sure right now, and I'm pretty sure Dylan bought points to make it 6.5. So he won Arkansas 6.5 at -140. Dylan,
if you did it 15.5, I'd still take it.
So Dylan, obviously not a Colgate guy. Are you a Crest guy?
More of a Aquafresh, actually.
Okay.
How many jokes do you think this week have been made about Colgate and Crest? Because we've at least had a half dozen on BCMG live videos, so we're definitely not the only ones doing it.
I want to know if there's a single person that takes Colgate to win this week. You can't look at their schedule.
Kenny Cotterill. Kenny Cotterill did.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, you're fucking playing them.
Like, they beat Boston University by 10 or less points.
You gotta look for that one bracket buster, and I think Arkansas is frauds.
My bracket buster's got to be Ohio State. I think
it's just frauds versus frauds in this one, and the better fraud's going to come out of this one. So.
I think there's Canadian universities that could beat Colgate. That's where I'm at. I think
definitely not U of R.
Husky good.
U of R, that line is -40.5. So
yeah, we're not going U of R.
So you heard it here, folks. It's going to be fraud versus fraud. Who's the better fraud out of this game? Dylan likes Arkansas -6.5, and he's taking it right up to -15.5 if you need to. But yeah, I like the pick. I like Arkansas. I really like Arkansas. I don't see them losing this game at all. Against, like Dylan said, Colgate. I mean, they haven't played anybody this year. Arkansas obviously has the best offense and defense in this one. So let's go over our next matchup. Paul, what are you running with for your third pick?
I am actually going to dip into that Oral Roberts and Ohio State game. I think Ohio State wins this game, but they had 2 overtime games in the Big Ten tournament. And they have a tendency to play down to their competition this year. Like, they pissed around in some games. And Oral Roberts has the nation's leading scorer. So when you have a guy that can score 30, 35. I think they stay inside the 16. I don't see Ohio State really blowing them out. Maybe it ends up being a 10-point game, 12-point game, something like that. But I think Oral Roberts will hang around and give me the 16.
I definitely agree with you here. I do like it's been said before, Ohio State, I think they're frauds. Oral Roberts, that 16 line is so big. Like I just don't agree with it. But also understand kind of where they're coming from. But yeah, I just don't see Ohio State beating Oral Roberts by at least 17 points. I just don't see it.
Is there anything more fun in the NCAA tournament though than when a guy like the leading scorer Oral Roberts starts going off and then everybody starts? Amazing.
Can you confirm or deny whether or not Oral Roberts was taken to the Sweet 16 in the official BCMG bracket tonight?
I can confirm it was taken.
Oh,
look for Oral Roberts to go on a run. Yeah, love the pick, and yeah, like we said, look for Oral.
But they have played competition this year. You know what I mean? Like they took Oak State to the wire. Like they have. It's not just going to be like some kind of culture shock. Like they played pretty much the number 1 pick in the NBA draft. So you know what I mean? Like I like them here.
I agree with you. Let's go over to Jet for his third pick. Jet, what are you running with, bud?
I like St. Bonaventure money line here against LSU. I think that these are two very even teams actually, but I think St. Bonaventure has a bit more of a chip on their shoulder. They have more to prove, and a win for them would be so much more important for their program than a win for LSU would be. They know what's on the line. It's not just a March Madness thing. It's building up the culture. So give me the Bonnies.
Ernest Silva, friend of the show. Wow. Participant of the show. Likes the bet of the week is Oral Roberts first to 20 points at plus 760. If you want to lay a little money there. You want to lay a little money there. Not a bad one. But let's get to this Bonaventure, the Bonnies, LSU. LSU's heater at the end there, the conference tournament, does that worry you a bit? Like they should have beat Bama in my opinion. They should have. I mean, the ball was in out. But, I mean, that's got to worry a little bit.
Yeah, there's fair concern there, absolutely. But I think maybe the Bonnies are a kind of team that they might not take as seriously because they just finished in a massive conference tournament like that, and we're so close to being the champs. Bonnies are not a team you can sleep on. They're not just your average middle-of-the-pack team. They're in the high end of this tournament, and if LSU takes any gas off whatsoever, they're going to lose. Yeah,
no, it is true. It'll be a very, very good basketball game. I'll give you that. It's going to be very fun to watch. I personally have LSU going, winning and going on a little bit further. But I mean, St. Bonaventure is still a pretty good basketball team, and this could go either way. So, but Jets' official pick is Bonaventure money line at plus 106. That brings us to the end of the third round, and that will take us to the player pick of the week. When shopping on playergolf.com, make sure to use promo code BETTHEOVER. I'm wearing the hat. I see Dylan's wearing a hat and sweater, I'm pretty sure. Kenny's supposed to be wearing the hat, but he ain't. That's okay, though. Great guys, great company. A lot of apparel stuff. Now into athletics, hockey, obviously golf, lots of stuff. Great company. So the player pick of the week, and I'm going to reiterate, I'm not stealing your pick, Paul, but I am reiterating Florida Gators money line. It is a pick 'em right now. Last time I checked, it could be, like we said, it could go up to minus 110 or the other way. So I like Gators. I still don't know what the fuck a Virginia Tech Hokie is. Did somebody say it was a turkey?
It's a turkey.
Like what? Why would you name your team after a Hokie? What a horrible team name. Hence why I'm taking Gators.
I have a terrible story about that.
Ooh.
I went to watch a WVU game and we got beat by 40 down there, and that fucking gobble played 3,000 times that night. So I know what it sounds like.
Oh, even more reason to bet against the Hokies. They're frauds. Don't like them. Florida going to win this by at least 10, I think. So that brings us to the fourth round. And Kenny, what are you running with here with your fourth pick? It was up in the air a couple times. You were telling me a few different things, but have you got your mind set on one now?
Okay, so I'd like to clarify. My fourth pick I originally had was Inter Milan to win. Unfortunately, their game was postponed, so I had to make an adjustment, last second adjustment. So I'm rolling.
Is
back
Inter
to the
Milan this way? Is Inter Milan now outer Milan?
They are outer Milan, and it's very unfortunate that they are, because I was really liking that that bet that I had there. But I am rolling with Barcelona to win by 2, exactly 2, and they're playing Real Sociedad. It's plus 450. Look, I got up my units here. Okay, the folks want dollars in their bank account, so if we're looking at a value pick, I liked Barcelona to win this game 2-0 or 3-1. What's the common denominator there? Oh, it's by 2. And so when I'm looking at this one at plus 450, a Barcelona team with Lionel Messi, who, by the way, you should have parlayed that because he scored when I picked Barcelona last.
You did, yeah.
I just really like them in this game. Sociedad's kind of middle of the table of La Liga. So it's not really a team that I'm that worried about Barcelona beating. The question is obviously, do they run up the score and make it a 3 or 4 goal game? I think it's just going to be 2. So that's why I'm rolling with Barcelona to win 2-0 or 3-1.
You said the common denominator was 2. I'm just going to check your math here.
Can Josh Woj confirm?
Yeah, I can confirm that is the common denominator is 2 there. Yeah, so like Kenny said, 3-1, 4-2, 2-0. She don't matter as long as they win by 2 plus 450. He's looking to up his units, like he said, even though I'm pretty sure he's in first with units.
Real ballsy pick.
It is a ballsy pick, absolutely. Because I mean, fuck, there are some late goals in soccer matches that don't even matter that could fuck you up completely, or fuck up your pick or your parlay or whatever. But I mean, he's confident in, and is what's Lionel Richie? Is it Lionel Messi?
Well, I caught a lot of shit last time for saying Lionel as if I didn't understand what I was talking about when, I like to think of myself as the resident soccer expert here at BCMG, whether other people believe it or not. So yeah, it's Lionel. Thank you very much.
Noted. Perfect. All right. Yeah. Did you say he was going to score in this one?
I feel like parlaying this would be even ballsier than it already is. So lock it in.
Okay. Perfect. All right. Just had to double check because you were so confident about it last time. You might as well go again, right? On a heater. Let's go over to Dylan. Dylan, what do you run away for your 4th pick?
Before I get to my 4th one here, I just wanted to touch back on the Colgate Raiders. They won their conference tournament against the 6-11 Loyola Greyhounds. 6-11 in the conference final.
You had me at Loyola.
Hey, Greyhounds were on a heater. They were almost there.
Well, what kind of heater could they be on? They're 6-11. So they won 6.
Well, they lost 11 straight, and then they won 6 rolling in there, and
Like, my God, this team is a fraud. I might put it on Arkansas. Okay, other pick. I got Texas minus 8.5 versus ACU. Somebody Christian something. ACU got blown out by Arkansas. They got beat by Texas Tech. Texas is better than both those teams. ACU's biggest strength is their size. That's not going to help them against Texas. That helped them against small schools. Texas is one of the best rebounding schools in the country. They're going to dominate all aspects of this game. I don't think it'll be close.
Horns up, babe. Horns up. Paul, give me a horns up. Give me a horns up, Paul. Paul's not a fan of Texas. Anyway, they're playing Abilene Christian, so everybody knows. Ernest Silva, participant of the show again. What's up, fellas? Horns up for you, Ernest. Horns up. Horns up. Yeah,
I hope they win. I hope they win for Ernest, but you'll never see me with the horns up, ever.
Not like the use.
Well, what fun are you?
I will root for him.
I like Texas 8.5 here. I think it could be a blowout, like you said. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Abilene Christian. Don't think they're good. Don't think they should be in the tournament, and this should be a blowout. So let's go over to our next matchup. Paul, what do you run away for your 4th pick?
I mean, I think this is like one of the easiest picks of the weekend. I couldn't believe I got it at that I could get Boston and the Bruins in regulation against the Sabres. The Sabres are an absolute dumpster fire of a team. Like, they have no prayer. There's something wrong organizationally there. It's not just it's not just the players. It's not just, the management. There's something organizationally wrong with them. They're so far in the tank, and now they don't even have Taylor Hall or Eichel. I think the Bruins absolutely smashed them.
Taylor Hall is playing. Pretty sure he was playing tonight.
Was he playing tonight? Okay.
So he's back.
I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. The Sabres are so bad.
That don't matter. I think they are 0-11-2 in their last 13 after tonight's loss against Boston. Not good, especially when you brought in a very elite talent like Taylor Hall. You have Jack Eichel, who is injured. Sam Reinhart, I mean, not a good look. Darlene, another primary prospect, if you will, and this is the product that you have on the ice. Not good. I don't know what they're gonna do. You brought in all this talent. I mean, you have the talent. It's just you can't win games, and it's just.
I mean, the coach
you restart.
Haven't had a goalie since Ryan Miller.
When they got swept by the Penguins, the coach was literally begging them to show up and play. Literally, come on, guys! We got to do it. You know what I mean? They turned around and got shut out 3-0. So it's just not there.
One of the worst probably dumpster fires I've seen in the NHL for a very, very long time now. You could say Detroit's a dumpster fire, but I mean they're ahead.
You can see signs of life.
Easy there.
You can see signs of life in Detroit.
And I don't even want to talk about them. It's just so bad. I feel bad for the Sabres fans because they deserve better. Great hockey town, and they just deserve a better team. It's unfortunate, but let's go over to Jet for his fourth pick. Jet, what are you running with?
All right. If I was Kenneth Cotterill, I'd be taking Iona money line. I am not, so I will take the points. Iona plus 16.5 versus Alabama. I just think that Rick Pitino's got too much pride to get run out of the gym, and Alabama is going to win the game. I think that's not in question really, but Iona should be able to hang within 16.5. So that's why I'm going that route.
Iona sounds like it's part of the element table or whatever you want to call it. Iona.
Yeah,
it's
the next element. They're actually adding it next week, but
I'm not a science guy. What do you actually call it? Is it periodic table?
Periodic, yeah.
Periodic table, absolutely,
cool.
bud.
Something like that.
Periodic, like Josh's science knowledge.
Right.
Did I hear Rick Pitino and something good about him? He's got pride. Did I hear that?
Well, that'll be if
he doesn't
they
have
win.
morals. We're not talking about him being a moral guy.
Right.
He's just prideful.
Right.
Two different things, Smith. Two different things. Morals as well as pride. Two different things for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping he pulls out the straight white Colonel Sanders suit for this weekend. That would be awesome.
Holy shit. Yeah. Iona plus 16.5 against Bama, who is a good team, but I mean, I have my doubts about them going forward. I own a pretty decent team.
We just don't know how the night before with their cousins is going to go, right? So,
also a very good point. Yeah, we're bringing some valid points to the show here. I like it. Brings us to the last round here. Kenny, what are you running with for your last pick?
Huh, I got to go back to the pitch because if I'm going to sit there and say I'm the soccer guy, then I got to have a couple soccer plays. So.
A pitch is
head over PSG money line versus Lyon. I cannot stand Lyon because they have a player, Memphis Depay. He used to be a Man United guy, completely mailed it in. And then he goes to Lyon, and then suddenly he's blowing up, and he's this all-worldly talent. Yeah, well, you're a fraud. So your team's a fraud. You got Kylian Mbappe on this PSG team, and he's playing lights out right now. He's got 18 goals on the year, absolutely lighting it up in the French league. I feel like I'm putting you guys to sleep, so let's go PSG money line.
I was just going to say, I don't know any of these players that you're talking about, but Paris Saint-Germain, I've been to Paris before, pretty cool city. And laying plus money. I like it. Plus 130 against Lyon. Is it Lyon?
Lyon.
Lyon.
It's like Lionel Messi.
Yeah, there you go. Paris Saint-Germain plus 130. Don't hate it. Dylan, what are you running with for your last pick?
I got Washington Capitals in regulation, New York Rangers Saturday night. They play tomorrow, back to back. Washington's a better team back to back. They're at home. And the home team's always the advantage. You can get plus money on Washington, who's a much better franchise and squad than the Rangers right now. Although the Rangers did win 9-0, but they're probably partying for a week after that. Anytime you can get home team on a back to back at plus money when they're a much better team, you got to take.
So I was going to ask you about the 9-0 win over Philly, but I mean, we've already talked about it. Mika Zibanejad had 6 points in the second period in that game. And obviously a very, very slow for Mika. Does that maybe worry you a bit? I mean, he's kind of woken up a little bit now.
Over 700 career goals. That's more of my concern.
That's very, I mean, yeah, point case there. Don't have to talk about much more about it.
Also, can we touch on the fact that you've never heard of Mbappe?
Sure.
Even I've heard of Mbappe.
Who's that again? No. Oh, yeah. No, never heard of him. Not a
Me
soccer
too.
guy. Sorry. Apologize.
Yeah,
I'm so sad.
Just
All right. Well, moving on. I mean, moving on to the next one. Paul, what are you running with for your next pick or your last pick?
The last one, we're going to go to UC Santa Barbara plus 7 over Creighton. We've been watching Creighton slowly disintegrate in front of our eyes for about the last 2 weeks. So I think if you want to sprinkle a little money line on the Gauchos, I wouldn't be upset about that either. I like Santa Barbara to win straight up, but I'm going to give the plus 7 and take the points for the fans here.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. Creighton literally disintegrating right in front of our eyes. I don't even know if they're going to have a team against UC Santa Barbara. I hate Creighton right now. They're obviously one of the worst teams. I think UC Santa Barbara could potentially keep this close. Plus 7. Do you think if Creighton does win, how much further can they get?
I don't think very far at all. I really don't. I mean,
16.
Maybe the Sweet 16, maybe.
That would be their best. Hey, Sweet 16.
Absolutely, that's the ceiling.
Well, I mean, you never know. But yeah, UC Santa Barbara plus 7. I like it against Creighton, who has been very, very bad lately. So let's go over to Jet for his last pick. Jet, what are you running with?
I'm going to take VCU money line over Oregon. I just haven't been impressed the way everyone else seems to have been with Oregon. The Pac-12 to me as a whole is not that interesting. I don't think any of those teams really jump out as being special. And I think VCU's defense is special. Is it enough to stop the high-powered Oregon offense? I hope so. I think it is. That's why I'm going to go with them.
Yeah, I do like that pick. For those who are wondering at home, the VCU moneyline pick is at a value of plus 180 right now. So some plus money out there. And you said it. You couldn't have said it better. Oregon in the Pac-12, horrible conference. Oregon, not very good as well. You could definitely see an upset happening here in this bracket. And yeah, not much more to talk about because VCU and Oregon's a really bad team. So that brings us to the end of the show here. I'm just going to give you a quick sign off as well as confirm picks. Kenny, you're running with Illinois minus 22.5 against Drexel. Clemson moneyline against the Rutgers. Syracuse moneyline against San Diego State. Barcelona to win by exactly 2. And PSG moneyline against Lyon. Is that all correct? And where can they find you?
That is correct. And if you parlay all of those together, $5 bet pays $5.83. So when it pays this week, I hope you guys rode the train. You can find me at shooters_pod on an absolute heater right now. Show is going to be back Sunday night at, I guess, 7 o'clock SAS time, which makes 9 o'clock Eastern time for all you weirdos that change your clocks. And thanks for having me on, Josh.
Absolutely. You betcha. Dylan, you're running with Avalanche in regulation. Tennessee minus 5.5 against Oregon State. Arkansas minus 6.5 against Colgate. Texas 8.5 against Abilene Christian. And Capitals in regulation. Is that all correct? And where can they find you?
That's all correct. I'd like to add to Kenny's point about the weirdos that change their clocks. That's just weird. Stop changing your clocks. But yeah, Colgate's fraud. Everybody put your retirements on it, put your grandparents' money on it, put your parents' on it, take out a second mortgage, and that line could maybe even move it all the way to like minus 20.5. They might not score. It might just be the biggest blowout in March Madness history.
What do you think the odds are that they don't score? Because whatever those are,
I don't even
throw a
think
dollar
they're that
down
good,
and maybe
actually. It's
put
probably
your
like
kid
minus
through college.
110 because they're that bad.
Just simply, hey, minus 110 for them not scoring any points. That makes sense. Close. Yep. All right. Well, Paul, you're running with the Blues in regulation against San Jose, Florida, money line against Virginia Tech, Oral Roberts plus 16 against Ohio State, Boston in regulation against Buffalo, UC Santa Barbara against Creighton. Is that all correct? And where can they find you?
Yeah, that's all correct. You can find me on Twitter at SteelCurtainPEH. As a weirdo that is forced to change his clocks, I want you guys to know that I prefer not to. But this right here that we're on right now is the correct time, but I have to. So,
Not technically.
but anyway, let's enjoy this weekend, boys. We put in a lot of work over the last 2 weeks. Let's just have some fun and watch some basketball for the next few days and kick it.
Enjoy
See you guys
watching
out
that
there.
game until midnight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So, Jet, you're running with Winthrop plus 6.5 against Nova. Georgetown plus 5.5 against Colorado. The Bonnies money line against LSU. Iona, part of the element table, plus 16.5 against Bama. And VCU money line against Oregon. Is that all correct? And where can they find you?
That is correct. You can find me on Twitter at Frostbite Pod, as well as Facebook, Frostbite Sports Podcast. And I'll leave you with this. I got a good piece of advice once in my life, and that was if you shake it more than twice, you're playing with it. So stop touching your clocks, people. All right.
Stop touching your parlays too if you're me. Jesus.
I'm going to leave you with one piece of advice. Josh, you're going to want to get rid of that shirt because Friends is on the frauds list.
No. They're not on the frauds list. Absolutely not. Friends is one of the greatest shows of all time.
Link to why Friends is overrated. You can find it www.bluecollarmg.com.
Yeah. So that brings us to the end of the show, guys. The player pick of the week is Florida Gators. Pick them. Florida Gators just to win. And make sure to use promo code BetTheOver when shopping online for player. I'm your host, Josh Elliott. This has been a fun night, guys. Good luck to all your picks. And let's make some money, guys.